because you had an appointment with the Office of the President to present a list. We came with the families with one agenda, asking for justice for the victims, for the disappeared, and accountability. But we were met with brutality and violence by the police. It's been 3 months since the protest, and we still have masked police in our streets. Why are they being masked in the streets? We are asking our government, if the police are upholding rule of law, why are they coming masked? And why are they targeting me specifically? So we have told the principal secretary to go and tell the president that next week shall be back here. And if there is no justice for the victims, we're going back to the streets. If there is no justice, we're going back to the streets. And we know very well that it's our right to protest. It's not a favor by the president, it's a right by the Constitution, and we're going to do it. If the president cares about this country, he should care about these mothers who are here. He claims no one has been abducted. We have a list of those being abducted. We have shared the list. He promised compensation for the victims. We know very well that money can never bring back any life. But if you promise compensation, it can at least help the families to pay for bills and to move on in a small way. So we're asking for compensation for the victims, we're asking for justice, and we demand for the firing of the officers who murdered innocent citizens. The crime scene is Parliament. Parliament has CCTV cameras. We know very well those cameras are working on the day of the protest. We demand that the government make that footage public. City Hall has CCTV footage of what happened there. Make that public. Supreme Court, because we know very well on June 25th, there were criminals who were in the streets. Criminals paid by politicians, and they came because they were paid. And their financials are known, they've never been arrested. Listen, the president is a coward because every other day he's insulted by other people on top of vehicles and doesn't do anything. But when he comes to the streets, protected by the Constitution, he comes after us. Why is he after innocent people? If he's a man enough, if he's not a murderer, go after the killers of the innocent people, go after the people who sponsored the violence in the streets. Because none of us, none of the people who are murdered, none of the people who are in the streets on that particular day who are here today were involved in the treasonous action. So we feel victimized by the government. And all you're asking is, Mr. President, if you're unable to lead us, you must resign. Yes, because we can't live in constant violence. Every day we've been arrested, we've been abducted, we've been murdered. If you're unable to uphold the Constitution, if you're unable to lead this country through the rule of law, we're asking for you to resign. It's not a must to lead us. It's not a must for him to lead us. Because we say this, and we said this before, you cannot kill us and lead us. You cannot do that. Kama umeshindwa na kazi, enda nyumbani. I know you can go to Sugoi when ukae huko. By the way, go retire with Rachel and your grandkids. This country has 54 million Kenyans. You're not the only one who can lead us. Na tukisema Ruto waende, tuseme Ruto peke yake. Tukisema Ruto na Rigathi waende. You should all go. This government is a government of murderers. We're asking for them, if they cannot give us justice, compensation, accountability, they resign en masse. Wote ni wafanyikazi wetu. Ruto ni mfanyikazi wetu. You should never forget that. Even the guys who are arresting us today, these people in uniform here today, all of them work for us. Let us not forget who is the boss. We are the bosses. And next week, if they do not respond to our demands, we're back in the streets. We're coming back in the streets. By force, by fire, we're back in the streets. Kama unakutua kuja tuwe Ruto basi. Yeah?